मुझे तो बॉदर करना लोगों ने छोड़ दिया था, लेकिन दे यूज्ड टू बॉदर माय सन, बट इवेंचुअली ही लर्न्ड के यू नो व्हाट अंकल, यू कैन गूगल इट.
What a comeback.
I just want to know कि क्या होम स्कूलिंग बच्चे ऑकवर्ड और वियर्ड निकलते हैं या
Me and my husband, we have always chosen path which is less traveled. And we have suffered also because of that, but we are happy.
The homeschooling mom is not just homeschooling mom. वो स्कूल के करिकुलम क्यूरेटर से लेके प्यून तक सब काम करती है.
Like आप आधा घंटा दे दो, but that should be like you are fully focused on the child.
राइट मतलब आपका मतलब है कि वो बाकी लोगों से बात करता है होम स्कूलिंग होके भी.
You can't blame anyone. हाँ. कि टीचर ने नहीं सिखाया.
What does homeschooling look like for you?
I think it is different because every person is different.
Age of 12, he gave his 10th exam.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Right.
so that
So you're
was
not
awesome.
restricted by the कि अभी अर्थ वापस घूम के इधर आएगा तो अगली बुक शुरू होगी.
Exactly.
Hi everybody, welcome back to CBFE. So जब से मैंने ये चैनल शुरू किया है, the main question everybody keeps asking me is हमें पता है कि problems हैं, but so what do we do? अगर हमें पता है कि CBSE में इतने सारे subjects हैं, लेकिन स्कूल ऑफर नहीं कर रहा है, so what do we do? So I thought let's ask the people who know this answer the best. I have with me 5 homeschooling mothers. They have homeschooled their kids for a different number of years for each of them. And they have done the experiments that you are considering, and I think we can actually understand from them what is the best way to do this, what are some pros and cons of homeschooling, and how it has been for you all. So thank you so much for coming, first of all. First and most important question is, who is homeschooling for and who is it not for? How did you guys come to this decision, and what were the variables that you were considering?
For me, it is for all those parents who are ready to spend some quality time with the child. Child is their priority, and they're okay if the child is not doing something for few days. If they're okay with that, then homeschooling is for those parents.
Mom, dad, आपके लिए तो ये नहीं था. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that is my take on it.
Okay.
So it's basically about the child's growth.
Yeah. If you have time to give.
Not the time.
if you
Quality
are-
time. Like आप आधा घंटा दे दो, but that should be like you are fully focused on the child.
Right.
So that kind of a time.
And you should not be like over.
Not overpowering, not pressuring them. Okay, he want to play, he want to learn music, he want to read a book or just watch TV, watch movies. That can also be a very good learning.
Do you all agree, or do you have any other opinions?
For me, homeschooling is more of a, I will say, parenting style or living style rather than just the schooling part of it. Because first of all, you shouldn't be the parent who's just waiting for their kid to be 3-year-old so that I get my me time. You will never get your me time.
Right.
There are times when you need to learn few things to teach your child again. You need to relearn few things. You might have just forgotten few mathematical concepts and you will have to do that again. So one should be ready with this.
Yeah.
When I say this, it's not necessary that you should do it all by yourself. Homeschooling is not where you teach your kid, only you teach your kid.
Right.
So, of course, there are other resources also, but it is definitely not for those who are looking out to outsource their whole schooling journey, or they're just waiting that somebody comes and takes my child and I get a ready-made product.
On the one hand, you're saying that it is involved, right? Like you have to be involved, you have to be mindfully involved. But on the other hand, you're also saying that there is a lot of help, right?
Yes.
There are other people who you can reach out to who will help you out with resources or maybe other
Homeschooling is customized education.
Right.
What do you mean by customized education? You go to an ice cream store, you go to pizza parlor, you go to eat in a South Indian restaurant. you have so many choices, and still even in that simple masala dosa you want to customize it कि चटनी ज़्यादा डालो, सांभर अलग दो, वड़ा सांभर में नहीं चाहिए, you know, so many things. You go to eat ice cream, you want that cone dipped in chocolate sauce, you want sprinkles or not, you want strawberry flavor, so many choices. But when it comes to education, you're just looking at the box. Customizing education, and that is why homeschooling, there's no one way. So it is about exploring what you want, what your child wants, what are his likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, and at the same time, like these parents said, it's as simple as, you know, letting them explore. But at the same time, if you need help at that point in time wherein you feel that no, I won't be able to provide that best, you know, something of that sort, where tennis, मैं टेनिस नहीं सिखा सकती मेरे बच्चे को, तो उसे तो टेनिस के लिए तो जाना ही है बाहर. So it's as simple as that.
So let's understand कि आपके homeschooling styles में क्या फ़र्क है? Are you all doing more or less the same thing, or are you doing different things? What does homeschooling look like for you all?
See, I think it is different because every person is different.
But let's hear about it. What are the differences?
See, my child likes, he doesn't like he likes so many things. So I will start with, he doesn't like biology. He doesn't like, I'm looking at Amrita
Because my son loves biology.
Okay.
So he doesn't like say Hindi or languages he is learning through theatre because he enjoys the theatre more. So this is a different. We are not going through the book, what is there in the textbook. We are learning it via theatre and acting, via movies also.
So subject choices तो एक चीज़ हो गई कि you're saying that you're
You know, for those subjects now there are tutors. When he was going in a school, he was not really happy with. He wanted more challenging stuff to learn about. He wanted to go in deep. So now he is learning from ex-IITians.
मतलब you found an ex-IITian to tutor your son.
Yes.
In physics.
Yes.
Okay. And the other one, what is the other one? The postdoc?
Postdoc maths.
That's a maths tutor. Where is this person and how did you find them?
That is what homeschooling mom does. You have to keep on searching.
मतलब ढूंढ के you got this person and this
don't
person.
okay.
Very interesting.
Because the homeschooling mom is not just homeschooling mom. वो स्कूल के करिकुलम क्यूरेटर से लेके प्यून तक सब काम करती है, एंड नॉट जस्ट द मॉम, इवन द डैड. सो द होम स्कूलिंग पेरेंट्स आर फ्रॉम प्यून टू प्रिंसिपल, ऑल द ड्यूटीज आर पेरेंट्स ड्यूटीज. तो यू कांट ब्लेम एनीवन कि टीचर ने नहीं सिखाया, क्योंकि हम खुद ही है.
Can't blame
We are
anyone.
responsible.
But then at the same time, you guys all have careers of your own. You're business people, you're doctors, you're educationists. How much time does it take? If you have to put a number to it, कि यार मैं दिन में 1 ही घंटा बैठती हूँ अपने बच्चे के साथ, या or what is the
24
We
घंटे.
can't quantify it because that is why we say कि it is quality time. We cannot quantify it. It is not like structure is there, but still it is little unstructured.
Freedom within boundaries.
Yes.
And there may be few weeks where we are not doing anything, and there may be a week where we are doing everything.
मतलब वो pattern ऐसा नहीं बना हुआ है. It's not like you've just created a
Beauty
school at
is
home.
that the syllabus, in most of the cases, the syllabus is also curated, tailor-made. My child may learn English of a 2nd grader, math of a 4th grader, and he may just skip learning Hindi for now. So we have that freedom with us.
My son skipped Hindi for a really long time, and his Hindi is really bad, but he is very good with Marathi, which is our mother tongue. English he is very good because that's what the medium of learning was for him. And because of the customization, like Purva right now mentioned, ke, 2nd grade Hindi, some subject, in another subject you're doing like 7th grade, and that's what helped my son at age of 12, he gave his 10th exam.
Oh, nice. Right.
So that
So
was
you're not
possible
restricted by the कि अभी Earth वापस घूम के इधर आएगा तो अगली बुक शुरू होगी.
हाँ, नहीं, exactly.
And again, it is not limited to say 6 or 7 or 8 subjects only.
And not even
This-
restricted to the board.
What are some other random things your kids are doing that are not in normal schools?
My son does farming.
Farming. Okay.
So he does cooking also. Bird watching he loves. So there are many things to explore rather than the books. Akshaj is learning drums.
Oh, nice.
He'll be appearing for 7th grade Trinity.
7th grade Trinity. बहुत सही।
He started guitar. He'll be appearing for 3rd grade Trinity.
Superb.
He is very good in sketching. It's not because I'm his mom.
No.
But
Actually, just before this, I actually saw that. He was sitting and sketching these light pillars that we've got.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And she said, he gave 10th little bit early. So at 14 he gave 10th. He has chosen psychology as one of the subject in 10th standard, which is traditionally not available in other schools. And other than that, he's a very good cook. He can cook anything from veg, non-veg, Indian, Italian, anything you just name it and he'll make it for you.
मैंने तो कुकिंग सीखी थी because I was finally moving out of India and my parents were worried I'm going to starve. So finally they said, अच्छा चलो दाल तो बनानी सीख लो बेटा, otherwise.
He's
And
been
I love
cooking,
cooking, you know, I didn't realize all through my childhood that this is something I would have really
It's a
enjoyed to
life
do.
skill, no? So homeschooling was not always about books. So simple things like, you know, peeling garlic या कपड़े dried clothes fold करके रखना है. So you don't need special toys for what do you call motor skills and all that. Because these are the simple things. Let them, you know, बिठाओ और अच्छे green peas आ गए हैं तो हाँ काम भी हो जाएगा.
मटर छील के सीख लो.
And main thing is that they understand that you are part of this, you know, ghar. And this ghar is not just run by one person, or there's not this maid who comes and runs. So it is run by the family, and because of homeschooling, since they are at home also, they understand that it's all part of your schooling or learning experience. कि peeling garlic is not part of your textbook learning, but it is part of your learning. It's a life skill.
तो अभी भी सारे अब एक दूसरे से अग्री कर रहे हैं. आई एम स्टिल ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट कि आप आपस में डिसएग्री करते हो क्या? मतलब किसी चीज़ में डिसएग्रीमेंट है. मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल 10th स्टैंडर्ड एग्जाम्स आपने भी दिला दिए हैं बच्चों को, राइट? आर देयर सर्टेन थिंग्स दैट यू आर डूइंग डिफरेंटली इज व्हाट आई आल्सो वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड.
See, one thing I'll tell you about homeschooling moms is we are not jealous. So it is always like, you know, if I come across something very sciencey kind of a stuff, Akshaj is not interested. But I know Ishan will be. So we have a group where I'll put that. Just check this out.
Oh wow, okay.
So, you know, that kind of a communication is there and that kind of a support is also there.
And also when we are expecting our kids to learn from everything around us, rather than judging and being, you know, judgmental or arguing, it's better that we learn from their methodology.
Even kids learn from each other. Before Ganpati, Akshash taught our Thane homeschooling kids how to make a Ganpati.
Oh wow,
So they had their own workshop.
that's wonderful.
And during COVID, you know, all these kids used to come online and teach each other different things. So someone taught how to make poha, someone taught how to solve Rubik's cube or sketching. So her son was teaching sketching, my son was teaching how to solve Rubik's cube. So different things, you know. So it's like a community as well. So where you know, we get a typical FAQ, the most typical question I think all the homeschooling moms are fed up of के तो बच्चों को दोस्त कहाँ पे मिलेंगे?
हाँ भाई, लोगों से कहाँ मिलते हैं आप? बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. So मिलते हैं, of course. So you're saying that homeschooling is not really a homeschooled child. It's a homeschooling family.
Yeah.
And then also homeschooling community. And
वो एक
it's-
phrase है पता है, like it takes a village to.
Yeah.
So it's a village.
Who is homeschooling not for? Do you see any specific kinds of families who should not consider homeschooling?
See, there are two scenarios. First, we have to consider the child also.
Yeah.
So I know many kids who want to go to the school for whatever reasons. Okay. So I know some families, they started homeschooling because they thought it's a very interesting concept and they were giving like, you know, 100%. Still child want to go to school. So that is one scenario that again, like, you know, you can't be pressurizing nahi homeschooling hi karna hai, no. And another thing is, like we were talking about FOMO.
Yeah.
You know, you think कि grades matter a lot.
Yeah.
ये सारा अगर mindset है तो homeschooling is no, not for you, not at all.
मतलब अगर घर पे भी आपने स्कूल ही खोलना है तो you better just send to school.
Yes.
And it is the fact that schooling system do works okay for most of the kids. I mean, people who are from underprivileged background, they can't people who are from background where the learners are maybe first or second generation learners, we should consider that group also. For them, it's better that they go to school, they learn something at least. Some families, if the if the family values are not good enough for the kid to be a better generation, it's better they learn from other people rather than the family.
पर ये कैसे self awareness आएगी? मतलब as a family, if I'm trying to consider this question, I can't look in the mirror and say नहीं मैं ठीक नहीं हूँ, I will send to school. How do parents realize that okay, maybe for my family this is not a good choice?
No, so simple questions the parents should ask themselves. Okay, firstly, as parents, are we financially okay? You know, because one of the parents has to be more dedicated towards the homeschooling. Then comes the question, ke, obviously, the beginning starts with what she said, is your child ready? Then the next thing is the people living under the roof. अगर दादा दादी है, नाना नानी है या कोई, you know, if you have a joint family, ऐसे ना हो कि you are homeschooling, the parents and the child are on the same page, but you know the grandparents have not accepted, and then there will be like clash of opinions. The child will be confused. He'll not understand, he or she will not understand what is right, what is wrong. So these are the basic things. And then will we be able to dedicate that time, quality time, like Radhika mentioned, like quality time. And what is quality time? कि अगर वो पढ़ाई कर रहा है, पढ़ाई मतलब कुछ भी, वो ड्राइंग कर रहा है, वो whatever activity that you are doing with the child, and you are on your phone, it can't be. And then you say that आजकल की generation बिगड़ गई है.
So I guess what I'm hearing from all of you is कि दोनों तरफ reflective होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. If you want to do homeschooling, one, you have to be very self-aware. Ask yourself some hard questions. Do you have the time? Do you have the mind space? Do you have the discipline to not scroll your phone while your child is doing something constructive? But also you're saying you have to be very sensitive to what the child wants. कि अगर वो कह रहा है कि मुझे स्कूल जाना है, तो ऐसे ही hardcore नहीं भेजेंगे मत करो.
We started homeschooling when Ishan was in 6th.
Right.
And same we asked him, say, how you're finding it, are you missing school, do you want to go back to school? And he told me, Mama, I used to enjoy school, I had friends, I miss them sometimes, but you know, I never used to study in school. And now here I enjoy it.
He is a child who actually really wanted to learn, or school was not satisfying that curiosity at all?
Yes, he loves reading, learning, going in depth.
Are there backbenchers in homeschooling?
What is backbenchers?
हाँ, मतलब कुछ नहीं कर रहा, वेलियां मार रहा है सारा दिन. He's a
But I think so. There is a phase in everyone's life.
Human brain is bound to. Human brain will learn.
Correct.
It is
natural
for human brain to learn.
Correct.
So for some days they might do time pass because they have not got that opportunity till now. But after a certain period of time, they will come back
automatically.
in the learning mode.
I believe this too.
It's not just
Yeah.
opportunity also. It is sometimes के नहीं करना है.
Yeah.
But that is the time where you as a parent have to understand कि it's okay, no?
Yeah.
Sometimes even we feel कि like नहीं यार आज नहीं बनाना है खाना. So same way they feel that no, today I don't feel like studying, and it's all right. It's normal, it's okay. कि ऐसे नहीं है कि बस पढ़ाई की मतलब ही अच्छा किया. You are doing something else. It's all right. Or there used to be time when one week we used to be just exploring dinosaurs. And exploring dinosaurs is a beautiful word. Actually was dinosaurs के साथ खेल रहा था.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. But that means that you can't be nervous as a parent. If
We
you
get nervous.
You get nervous, but you have to have that perspective कि भाई
It's okay.
relax.
There are times when you get stressed, there are times when you doubt, you self-doubt. But thankfully, again, you have a community also where you open up, you say.
Because it's such a big decision, no?
It is a big decision and it's a big responsibility also. So you're not just a parent, you're also an educator. You're the primary educator for that matter. You are taking decisions and it's for his whole life. कल जाके मेरा बच्चा ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि तूने क्या कर दिया मतलब इससे अच्छा तो मैं स्कूल ही जाता एंड देन यू शुड नेवर फॉरगेट योर व्हाई यू स्टार्टेड दिस दैट इज द पॉइंट वेयर यू get that faith back.
So add to that, we also look back, like where we have reached.
Yeah, you track your progress. Report
So
card.
if I see, okay, 4 years back, my son was not doing this and now he's very good at this, that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So that is how again, like, and that why is like a anchor. You always remind yourself, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
And thankfully, in most of the cases, when your husband is on the same decision as you, they are the ones who hold you back. Like, no, don't get stressed. Or if he's stressed, we are the ones who give them that
You
reassurance.
balance
It's a
out
teamwork.
It's a teamwork.
In your families, mostly you guys are the leaders of the homeschooling and your husbands are the support. Is that
Not in my case. We are both equal.
both are doing it equally?
Because we both are working, so time restriction is there for both of us.
Yeah.
So we plan our day in a way that when he can give time when I'm working and when he is at his work, I give time. So we are equal.
बड़ा सेल्फिश क्वेश्चन है कि मतलब आपकी कम्युनिटी में जान पहचान में कोई ऐसा है जो फादर लीड कर रहा है और मदर
Yes, many. There are homeschooling dads.
Yeah.
हाँ क्योंकि मेरा तो मोस्ट लाइकली ये होगा मैं तो ये सब कर रहा हूँ टाइम पास तो माई वाइफ हैज़ अ जॉब सो आई विल बी डूइंग likely doing the homeschooling bit. That's nice. Okay.
And they equally do a very wonderful.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Future child, please note. Can you talk to me about money? What is the cost implication of this decision?
I will say पैसे बचाने हैं करके होम स्कूलिंग कर रहे हैं then that is something is not going to happen. Otherwise it won't be a जो एक्सपीरियंस आप देना चाहते हो अपने बच्चे को वो आप नहीं दे पाओगे.
बिकॉज स्कूल का यूनिफॉर्म का खर्चा यहाँ पे नहीं है लेकिन यहाँ पे कुछ दूसरा खर्चा है राइट. सो एंड इट्स कस्टमाइज्ड. सो कस्टमाइज्ड एजुकेशन मीन्स कस्टमाइज्ड finances and fees as well.
If you had sent them to a normal school like the ones that you were considering and you pulled them out of, right,
Yes.
in some cases, उसके मुकाबले आपके अभी भी same expenses आ रहे हैं. Is that what you're saying?
In my case, it is more than that. I will say.
You're spending more than what you would have spent in a normal school. Okay, so then maybe I can phrase it in the opposite way. Okay, maybe the answer is not that you will need a minimum of this.
Yeah.
The answer is if you have a budget in mind and you want to do this, it's possible.
Correct.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And there are online resources also. Like during COVID, my son did a lot of Udemy courses, which were
Okay.
for 500, 600 rupees.
Oh, nice.
And
Right.
Brilliant courses.
Yeah. Top
So his,
universities के साथ होते हैं.
yeah.
And even Khan Academy. So my son learnt from Khan Academy till 10th standard. It's absolutely free. Everything is free.
There are sources like Coursera. So Ishan is interested in town planning. So he has done few courses.
Even Swayam has a lot of courses. Even NIOS courses Swayam has.
पुणे में एक संस्था है ग्रामा मंगल करके, तो उनका एक लर्निंग सेंटर है. तो वहाँ पे मैंने उनसे कंसल्ट करके फिर उनके टीचर्स से मैं लेती थी कि वीकली टाइम टेबल मुझे बताओ, आप मुझे गाइड.
Oh, nice. तो
और मैं इम्प्लीमेंट करती थी
डायरेक्टली उन्होंने वीकली आपको एक टाइम टेबल ही दे दिया.
और मुझे वो समझाते भी थे कि कैसे करना है.
And ये नॉन प्रॉफिट है या did you have to pay them for a fees या?
मिनिमल.
Very nice, amazing.
I think what happens, the school-going kids, not the kids, the parents, they are conditioned के अरे टीचर ने नहीं बताया, स्कूल ने नहीं बताया. But here we are on our own. I mean, though there is a community, but still we are constantly hunting for our own selves and then sharing with our community.
Yes.
So वो पता चलता है. So you have to as a parent कि ऐसे नहीं है कि you have to dive into homeschooling ही then you can do it. Even if you're schooling, you can always keep your eyes open,
Yeah.
keep your senses open and just explore.
I find this also very exciting that in a school the curriculum and the boundaries of that syllabus they don't update very regularly. Whereas here I think you guys have the opportunity to keep updating it.
Correct.
Yes.
कि अगर कल को पता लगा कि अब कोडिंग यूजलेस हो गई है, अब कोडिंग की जगह AI के प्रॉम्प्ट सीखने ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हैं, so you can easily shift over.
Yeah. Yes.
For a school to change that syllabus will take another 7-8 years. Meanwhile, the kids are learning something that may not be useful.
See, actually, I'll say na, if you have a group, like forget about the community, you have your relatives, you have your friends. So you know that okay, your child is interested in art. So in my circle, I may have somebody who has done art or who is interested in art. So just that communication or letting them come together can be very, very helpful.
Yeah, of course.
And people are ready to help.
Yeah.
We have to approach. Yeah, that is what I always tell my son, ki go and ask.
And ये तो, I mean, this is true for anyone on earth.
Yes.
मतलब I remember in college, one of my very close friends, he started in his third year writing to all the top management of all the companies on his radar. सीधा LinkedIn पे ढूंढ के मैसेज आकर सर मुझे एडवाइस चाहिए. And I tell you, 10 out of 20 replied, and he went and had coffee with the C-suites of big companies. मैंने कहा ये तूने कैसे किया? अगर मैंने help मांगी, उन्होंने कहा ठीक है आजा बेटा. So I'll compile this list and I'll put it in the description also so you guys can see. But some of them are paid, some of them are free, so you can pick and choose based on your budgets. क्या homeschooling बच्चे awkward और weird निकलते हैं या उनकी socializing हो रही है?
You can tell it by yourself.
नहीं मैं तो नहीं जानता देखो मैं
We'll introduce our kids to you.
I met the kids already and you will also see them in a different video. But where is this coming from? Why are people asking this and what do you usually say? I'm sure आपको ये question आता रहता होगा.
मेरे ख्याल से तो होम स्कूलर्स बच्चे ज़्यादा मिंगल करते हैं, ज़्यादा स्मार्ट रहते हैं, ज़्यादा सोशल रहते हैं. तो इसीलिए मुझे भी एक करना है. तो ये चीज़ भी मैंने ये किया था कि ये भी मुझे चाहिए बच्चे में कि वो सबसे बात करे. अपने एज ग्रुप के साथ नहीं बात करना चाहिए. वो सबसे तो ये जब जाता है ग्रोसरी शॉप में जाता है तभी बात करेगा. सबसे वो ये करना एक कम्युनिटी में रहते हैं. तो
मतलब आपका मतलब है कि वो बाकी लोगों से बात करता है होम स्कूलिंग होके भी?
बाकी लोगों से ही मतलब ये ज़्यादा बड़ा पॉइंट है कि होम स्कूलर्स बात ज़्यादा करते हैं.
There are many co-ops taking place where parents meet with their kids and they interact.
हाँ, you were saying Sam, क्या? Just tell us about that.
Swashikshan annual meet. It happens in South India most of the times. So it is the gathering of homeschoolers.
How do you find? आप लोग आपस में कैसे मिले first time?
Actually, me and Sonal, we met around 1.5 years before in Dapoli in one of the homeschooling open learning meet. And we became friends, and then we visited Sonal's house at Sangamner. Now we have visited multiple times to each other.
Also, I'll tell you my personal something that I realized much later in life, especially because I had the good fortune of being able to go abroad. There was a completely different way of looking at seniority in outside India. And I realized कि ये स्कूल में सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम मेरे अंदर घुसी कि सीनियर जूनियर का जो डायनामिक है, this was something that took me a long time to get rid of. Senior junior in schools is so entrenched. I was in a boarding school and boarding में तो आपका सीनियर है, आपका जूनियर है सर, एंड उनके साथ आपकी जो डायनामिक है वो completely different. It stays with you really after graduation, after everything. It stays with you कि अच्छा वो मेरे से आगे ऊपर सीनियर ये वो, which after a certain time really becomes irrelevant for most people, right? After 20s, everybody is kind of the same in the same boat. So socializing in school actually can create certain unnecessary imbalances also in you. ठीक है, इस पे ज़्यादा बिलेबर नहीं करते. बेसिकली हमारे बच्चे बिल्कुल ठीक ठाक हैं, एक दूसरे से बात कर पा रहे हैं. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर कंसर्न. हेल्प मी अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज़ द पाथ द चिल्ड्रन विल टेक फॉर कॉलेज, मतलब यूनिवर्सिटी, नॉट जूनियर कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटी के लिए. सो सम ऑफ यू आर सेइंग 10th स्टैंडर्ड एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, सम IB रजिस्टर्ड थे पहले. What does that look like for you? What are the options available?
Same options which are available for other school-going kids.
So how are you doing it? Have you registered with NIOS or?
So her son registered with NIOS. 10th NIOS. My son gave 10th via Cambridge Board, IGCSE.
Okay, same thing. You just went to the website, applied.
No, so with IGCSE, you have to go to a center. You need a exam center, right? So you go there, they fill up.
But you're an independent candidate.
Correct. As a private candidate, but you get all the same. The same mark sheet is given to you.
Okay. So IGCSE भी हो गया, CBSE?
NIOS is something you just go to the website,
Yeah.
You decide when you
Subjects.
want to give the exam. That is also your choice.
Correct.
You can split the exam.
Yes.
Another good option.
Yeah, that is same
Split
thing in
मतलब एक
Cambridge.
साल में ये करो अगले साल वो करो.
Yes.
Awesome.
So like if you choose 6 subjects, आज आप ये साल 3 दे दो, अगले साल 3 दे दो. That is also possible.
Nice.
Then you get a center nearby where you are staying because it's a central board like CBSE.
NIOS is National Institute of Open Schooling. Yeah.
The main
Even
office is
state
in
boards
Delhi.
give you an option as
Yeah.
an external candidate.
As an external candidate. So these 3 boards are open. State Board, NIOS and
IGCSE.
IGCSE, Cambridge.
Even A levels, I'm guessing, not just IGCSE.
A levels is 11th and 12th.
Yeah, that also I'm sure you can
Yes,
give
but as a homeschooler, yes. But there is a small
caveat. Yeah.
What happens is if you do 11th and 12th as a homeschooler, as a private candidate, only for Cambridge board, and you want to later on go into engineering or medical field, that is technical field, then you don't get certain things that you are not allowed. But if you do NIOS 11th and 12th, that's all right. That's a weird rule only in India.
Interesting. मतलब अगर आपने just
AS
to
A level, you go to a college and do it.
then you're okay.
You're okay.
But if you do A levels from home, getting into engineering or medicine becomes a little complicated.
Yeah.
Some fields within engineering, yeah, all fields within engineering are.
All.
Acha, interesting. Is this information available? Let's say if I'm a parent.
If you go to a respective like NIOS website, Cambridge website, State Board website, you will get everything is written there in detail. It's just that you have to make that effort to read.
Just read it.
Yes.
Right.
Like Cambridge offers 70 subjects which are even open to the school going children.
But can I ask, is this a problem? कि अगर मैंने कुछ अतरंगी से subjects ले लिए, तो बाद में college में will they say कि अरे आपने तो सारे skill based subjects ले
You have
लिए?
your goal, right?
You should know why you're
know
taking it.
why you're taking it. It's like if you want to go into marine biology, for example, then you take marine biology and then biology and the related subjects. ऐसे नहीं है कि उटपटांग से subjects ले लिए and then you don't know like why you have taken.
NIOS has I think so 3 groups. So one group is for languages. So you have to take one language. One group is like our अपना जो भी normal subject होता है science, maths, etc. And one
Academics,
is like
yeah.
and one is like occupational kind of
Yeah.
subjects.
Yeah.
तो उसमें योगा भी है, उसमें बाकी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं. So you have to select one from at least each group.
So that NIOS already has a certain limitation of अच्छा इस group में से एक ले लो, इसमें से एक ले लो.
Yeah, minimum.
And then you have that
Yes.
final certificate because of that. Okay.
Cambridge does not have that as well. So it is just English is compulsory,
Yeah.
your first language, and then you take whatever you want.
कॉलेज में एडमिशन बिना इन सब के नहीं मिलती क्या? अगर आपके पास कोई 12th सर्टिफिकेट नहीं है तो कॉलेज नहीं जा सकते?
There,
अपने सिस्टम में नहीं, outside the country, yes.
So basically it's possible, look it up. There I'll put some links to A levels, NIOS, state boards. I'll try and see what I can find for you. But basically college अगर तुम्हें idea है कहाँ भेजना है, क्या पढ़ना है, you can easily curate something like that and get a certificate that will help you get into that college. Is there social cost to doing this when you go to parties and meet friends, and are there people who come up with very strange कि ये क्यों कर रहे हो, या how is it for you all to deal with
if
this?
you are firm about what you are doing, तो लोग bother नहीं करते, they stop bothering. कितना time करेंगे?
For me, I've been very lucky. So my husband was little anxious just because of that, schooling. फिर नहीं करेगा तो क्या? Like it should not affect his future.
Yeah.
So that was only one thing he had when we had a chat with Amruta and few other homeschooling parents who have been doing it for many years, and then we were like, okay.
Right.
So that was the only one hurdle we had. After that, it has always been like people are very amazed. People are very inquisitive. How are you doing it? People are like, "Arey yaar, हमारे time नहीं था."
Yeah.
But these are the responses that at least I am getting.
Yeah.
My family was very supportive, and my mother-in-law had that faith that okay, you are educator yourself, you are choosing it for your child, so you have definitely given it a thought. My parents were initially, are you sure what you're doing? Because me and my husband, we have always chosen path which is less traveled, and we have suffered also because of that. But we are happy. And then my mom was like, are you doing the same thing with your kid also now?
Yeah.
But then thankfully she met other people and she saw a few success stories, and I made sure that she hears those success stories more. And now she's also very happy with my decision. Now she keeps on telling me, yeah, you've taken a good chance. See, this is what happens, that is what happens.
I got this really weird question from couple of parents. Okay, my son used to always talk good about homeschooling, and the other kids probably didn't have anything as good to share about their schools. So now the parents started to come and tell me, okay, can you tell Agastya to not say all the time all good things about homeschool? हमारे बच्चे हमारे पीछे पड़े हैं। 7-7.5 साल पहले जब हम लोगों ने शुरू किया था, उस वक्त this community was kind of growing. It was still at a very infant stage. Even 10 years back जिन्होंने किया, उनके पास काफ़ी वो भंडार है। या फिर even me, like I used to get overwhelmed because that time I did not have any community, no support system.
Right.
And so ये WhatsApp community मैंने जो खुद के लिए बनानी शुरू की ना उस वक्त के, I need someone, I need a parent who will understand what I'm talking.
Can you give me an example of when you needed support, something that happened?
Yes, because simple things wherein initially मुझे तो बॉदर करना लोगों ने छोड़ दिया था, लेकिन दे यूज टू बॉदर माई सन कि अरे स्कूल नहीं जाता, तो दैट ओनली दैट एक्सप्रेशन यूज टू काइंड ऑफ ही यूज टू बी लाइक ओके, बट इवेंचुअली ही लर्न के यू नो वॉट uncle, you can Google it. So he started.
What a comeback.
but it took some time, and till that time we as parents were worried. तो मैं और मेरे husband दोनों बातें करते थे and we were the support system for each other. तो जो senior homeschoolers है उनको मैं तंग करती थी कि क्या यार, तो they were like chill Amruta, they will ask for some time and then later on they will stop. And today our community, touchwood, is so good that even if a homeschooler is traveling from South India to here or from here to Uttarakhand, we have parents all across. This network is all across India.
This is well worth noting that wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You're not just listening to a Mumbai or a Sangamner story, you're listening to a story which is unfolding across the country and probably across the world.
Yes.
Last question. Give me one incident that happened which convinced you that you have made the right decision.
When I started homeschooling and I started doing some activities and everything for him, there was this worksheet phase also where I was trying hard that my son does solve some worksheets. And I was like, why is he not doing it? Other kids of his age, they are doing it. I can see from some peer groups that they are solving so many worksheets. I downloaded so many freely available worksheets and everything. There was a simple thing, greater than and less than concept. And Bhargav was just not ready to solve the worksheet or even tell me the right answer. But a day or two passed, and one day I was having some sweets or his favorite snack in my hand, and I had 5 of the pieces on one side and 3 of the pieces on the other side, and he came and he just looked at it. I'm taking this. And I knew he knows what is less and what is greater, and he does not need to solve any worksheet.
अब मेरा दिमाग देखो ना कैसा प्रोग्राम्ड है, मैं अभी भी वो मिठाइयों के बारे में सोच रहा हूँ और मुझे लग रहा है कि आपका बेटे ने आके बोला होगा ये ग्रेटर है मम्मी। उसको ग्रेटर पता है, वो उठा के निकल गया, उसको वर्कशीट की जरूरत नहीं है।
Ishan, one day na, Ishan was sitting in a window and he was looking, वो बहुत बार उसका शांति से बैठा रहता अपने में मस्त, and he was looking at some chocolate wrapper and wind was blowing and the wrapper was still there, and after some time he said, Mama, हे पण physics है. You know, once he explained this is this law and that is why it is happening. क्या ज़रूरत है? Why I want him to go and write and read for 40 minutes lecture.
This is a very recent disease. मैं कैसे मुझे पता लगा कि ये डिजीज़ नया है? I was reading प्रेमचंद, और प्रेमचंद की एक कहानी में एक एजुकेशनिस्ट कैरेक्टर है और वो कैरेक्टर बता रहा है कि मेरी नौकरी छूट गई क्योंकि मैं बोलने लगा अपने डिपार्टमेंट में जाके कि ये 6 साल के बच्चों को जिनके अभी मोटर स्किल्स डेवलप नहीं हुई हैं, इनको पेन पकड़ा पकड़ा के छोटी लाइनें क्यों लिखवा रहे हो? जब इनको लिखने की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी ये लिख लेंगे, अभी कुछ और कर लेने दो। और कहते हैं मुझे नौकरी से निकाल दिया। तो दिस इज़, आई मीन, आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि हमारे लिटरेचर में एज रिसेंट एज प्रेमचंद भी एग्जाम्पल है कि लोग पूछ रहे हैं क्वेश्चंस कि ये जो अभी तुमने ये न्यू पाले हैं, तुमने ये नए डीमंस पाल लिए हैं, इनकी ज़रूरत क्या है?
ड्यूरिंग जस्ट कोविड ख़त्म हुआ था एंड माई सन इज़ वेरी मच इंटरेस्टेड इन आर्ट एंड एवरीथिंग. तो मैंने कहीं पे एक व्हाट्सएप पे पोस्टर आया कि क्या बोलते हैं उसको, टेराकोटा वर्कशॉप है. ओके, एंड दैट वाज अ 5 days रेसिडेंशियल वर्कशॉप. तो मैंने उसको मैसेज किया तो ही थॉट कि मैं अपने लिए पूछ रही हूँ.
ओके.
तो फिर मैंने कहा रुक मैं फ़ोन करती हूँ. देन आई कॉल्ड हिम, आई टोल्ड हिम सी माई सन इज़ दैट टाइम ही वाज अराउंड 11 समथिंग. तो मैं बोला 11 years old है, तुम्हारा कुछ एज लिमिट है? बोलते वैसे तो हमने सोचा नहीं, बिकॉज ऐसा क्वेरी आएगा शायद उन्होंने सोचा नहीं होगा. बट दे सेड कि ठीक है मैं बात करता हूँ सारे लोगों से. फिर 2 दिन के बाद उसका फ़ोन आया कि अगर आप आ रहे हो साथ में
तो ठीक है,
तो ठीक है, मतलब
हाँ,
बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव
residential है ना?
टू, हाँ, एंड देन वी डोंट हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ अ चाइल्ड.
या
तो मेरे को मतलब मेरा आर्ट से कोई लेना देना है तो नहीं, बट देन आई वाज लाइक कि ठीक है चलो उसको इतना इंटरेस्ट है. तो आई ऑल्सो वेंट, आई एन्जॉयड, इट वॉज ब्यूटिफुल एक्सपीरियंस. लेकिन लाइक 5 days के बाद अब ये लोग बोल रहे हैं कि हमारा गलती हो गया, बिकॉज ही वॉज नॉट द यंगेस्ट, ही वॉज काइंड ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट पर्सन इन द ग्रुप.
है मतलब
बिकॉज ही वॉज सो वेल बिहेव्ड, ही डिड एवरीथिंग सो वेल. तो वहाँ पे सारे जो आए थे सारे 25+ थे. मेजर ऑफ देम वर जे के, आइदर एक स्टूडेंट्स थे या ऑलरेडी अभी जे में है. एंड उनके साथ बैठ के इसने काम किया एंड ही डिड अ वेरी, हाँ. और BHU से ट्यूटर्स आए थे जो PhD है स्कल्पटिंग और टेराकोटा ये सब में. एंड दे वर ऑल्सो लाइक कि यार इसका ये नेचुरल है, राइट,
अंदर से आ रहा है.
हाँ. सो देन आई वाज लाइक ओके ठीक है, व्हाट आई डिड वाज या
so nice. And I guess this is the kind of thing that you may not consider if you are in a system.
हाँ. नहीं तभी तो
कि
डिफिकल्ट
5
होता है
दिन
ना.
कैसे जाओ, लीव
School
अप्लाई
है,
करो,
yeah,
यूनिट
yeah.
टेस्ट मिस हो
Possible
जाएगा
नहीं.
वगैरह वगैरह. राइट.
You know, when my son decided that he will give his 10th, he's all set, he gave his prelims at the age of 12. He's going and giving the board exams. First time exam hall scenario. Now this guy, we as parents were having panic attacks, as in क्योंकि पहली दफ़ा अपना बच्चा, वो भी 12 साल का 16 साल के बच्चों के बीच में जाके बैठने वाला है, and he is going to give in a classroom setup, because वो कभी experience ही नहीं किया.
वो भी बहुत इंटिमिडेटिंग होता है.
काफ़ी. But trust me, since my son had not experienced any of that के exam ऐसे किसी ने किया ही नहीं था, तो he was all cool and chilled.
It's not the hall.
It's
the
not
mind.
the hall, it's the mind.
Yes, yes.
And that is the time we said कि अरे यार ये तो हम डर रहे, बिकॉज हम हमारे टाइम का वो जो ट्रॉमा है शायद, यू नो, वी एंड माई हस्बैंड वी वर लाइक नहीं नहीं पेपर कैसे गया, एंड ही वाज लाइक हाँ आज घर पे जाके क्या खाना है, आई हैव यू प्रिपेयर छोले, एंड ही इज डिस्कसिंग ऑल दैट. आई एम लाइक हाउ वाज द पेपर, यू आर टेलिंग मी हाउ हैव यू मेड छोले.
Thank you so much, everybody. This has been so enriching. I think a few points that really stuck with me throughout this conversation is it's not just a homeschooled child, it's a homeschooling family, it's a homeschooling community, and more, whether I'm asking you about schedule, finances, support, I'm asking you about anything, everything seems to be very reflexive. It keeps coming back to you. Okay, I have also picked up things, I have also traveled, I have also, it's actually something that's really gorgeous, and I think it's also missing from education in general. There is a weird age limit to learning opportunities in the mainstream, and there seems to be a second innings of education and exposure for you guys as well, which is really quite exciting. And the second thing I just want to mention, which has come out, is there is a line after which maybe as parents we can choose not to pass on the traumas and the problems that school created for us. I think a lot of the reasons that we feel anxious about our own personality, our own identity, our own worth, self-worth, these insecurities, these need for external motivation, ये सारी चीज़ें हमें स्कूल से ही मिलती हैं. और अगर हम उसको ट्रांसेंड कर सकें तो why not? Whether it is homeschooling or not is up to you, but I think there are definitely ways in which we can stop that
Yes.
with us. We don't need to pass them on. And I'm just taking this step. If any of you actually want to talk to them, like I've been saying throughout this podcast, just reach out. You
Yes.
know, the community seems to be extremely open. Amrita's community is waiting for you with open arms.
So, everybody please watch this channel CBFE. He's doing a wonderful job. Everybody please watch, like, share, subscribe. If you are interested in any kind of educational things, please follow him.
If you're interested in fixing education, watch CBFE.
Yeah.